From Washington, this is the CBS Evening News with Dan Rather and Connie Chung.
Good evening. Here on Capitol Hill tonight, big change blowing in the wind and power shifting to the right. The new Republican majority is committed to what it calls nothing short of a political revolution. Starting tomorrow, when the 104th Congress convenes, Republicans are promising to make sweeping changes in government, smashing much of what they say Democrats have built since the early 1930s. Chief Washington correspondent Bob Schieffer previews the opening shots.
We're so proud of you. We're so proud.
It was hugs and kisses and a champagne send-off at the airport as Mr. Gingrich went to Washington. And as he related to his fans, tomorrow will be a humdinger because it's Contract with America time.
Tomorrow we will have the longest single day in the opening history of the House in our 200-year history. We will pass 9 reforms tomorrow. But this is the beginning. This is the first step.
Gingrich never leaves home without his personal laminated copy of the contract, and his Senate counterparts seem to like it as much as he does. First tomorrow.
But this is a bill to make Congress live under the laws like everybody else.
And before 100 days have passed, a balanced budget amendment and
we're going to decrease the deficit and provide for tax cuts, both.
How to pay for it? No cuts in Social Security, but other programs better watch out.
But the fact is that there are tremendous savings in the entitlement accounts that can be made.
Don, over here.
Republicans are so determined to get a jump start, they held a dress rehearsal for tomorrow's official ceremonies. And talk about changing the guard. That was outgoing Speaker Tom Foley stationary, hitting the trash pile today. There were some Democrats around, but for them it was a day to hold enthusiasm in reserve.
Well, I think Americans are skeptical about the Contract America. I think they're skeptical about whether or not it can be paid for.
And he may or may not be right about that, but it is the question that this Congress will spend all year debating. Dan?
Well, Bob, once they get through all the ceremony tomorrow, will they actually start doing anything?
Oh, absolutely, Dan. I don't think there's any doubt about it that by Thursday morning they will have streamlined and completely overhauled the rules under which the House of Representatives operates, for example. The other things that affect Americans outside the Capitol are going to take a little longer, though.
Bob Schieffer on Capitol Hill. Thanks, Connie.
From all indications, millions of Americans have either never heard of or don't know exactly what's in the Republicans' Contract with America. Here's a closer look now at what their package of programs and promises is designed to do and their self-imposed timetable for doing it. The GOP 10-point Contract with America promises cuts in government spending, cuts in taxes, more money for defense, and all this without touching popular entitlements such as Social Security. Some of the fine print. In the first 100 days of the new Congress starting tomorrow, House Republicans have promised floor votes on changing the Constitution with an amendment to require a balanced federal budget, welfare reform, cutting people off the rolls after 2 years, denying benefits to unmarried mothers under 18. And tomorrow, on day 1 of the new session of Congress, House Republicans promise to make all laws they pass apply to themselves. Right now, they are exempt from many of them. They also plan to cut committee staffs and spell out term limits on incumbents from here on in. The contract and whether the Republicans do deliver on it could be a make-or-break issue in the fast-approaching presidential campaign 96. Dan?
Connie, no one knows that better than President Clinton. For his part, the president was in Arkansas today. He took some time out to hunt and shoot ducks and prepared to fight off Republicans and even some Democrats who want to make him a lame duck. CBS News White House correspondent Rita Braver has the latest.
President Clinton said he was taking one last day back home in Arkansas to get his batteries charged, his roots watered, and apparently his ducks shot. How's he anticipating the start of a Republican Congress?
I'm looking forward to it. Somebody had to ask that question, right?
I'm looking forward to it.
Not ready?
No. Are you getting not at all? I just don't want to talk about it till tomorrow.
In fact, he plans to talk tomorrow to lobby for what he calls his middle-class Bill of Rights, tax breaks for families earning $100,000 a year or less, Dan.
Well, Rita, what is President Clinton's strategy as regards these new assaults from Congress?
Well, it is definitely still evolving, but in general, he plans to act presidential, not to respond to every shot that the Republicans take, but he will also try for some bipartisan measures, and if he doesn't get them, however, he will be ready to accuse them of being too drastic and too irresponsible about some things, Dan.
Rita Braver at the White House. Thanks, Connie.
President Clinton's whitewater problem resurfaced today. Republicans on the Senate Banking Committee mounted a new offensive. They issued a report charging serious misconduct and malfeasance in the administration's handling of the whitewater case. Correspondent Jim Stewart reports.
You swear that the testimony...
After a 6-month investigation, Senate Republicans and Democrats released conflicting conclusions today about last year's whitewater hearings, and neither is of much comfort to the White House. Democrats insisted no laws were broken, but conceded
too many people, frankly, were having too many conversations about matters that they shouldn't have had in the first place.
While Republicans charged whitewater is far from over and concluded, we believe the hearings demonstrated serious misconduct and malfeasance by high administration officials. The hearing sought to answer who in the administration knew what and when about a request for a criminal investigation into the failed Madison Guaranty Savings and Loan in Arkansas and its involvement with President and Mrs. Clinton's ill-fated Whitewater Land Development Company. Republicans pointed a finger at statements by former Deputy Treasury Secretary Roger Altman, who allegedly tipped off the White House about the Arkansas investigation.
They were not totally truthful to the committee. His statements to me and to others on the Banking Committee were certainly at odds with the fact.
And both sides disagreed over what the suicide of Deputy White House counsel Vince Foster means to the Whitewater investigation.
There are many questions unanswered as to why he took his own life and what happened to the documents in his office after his death.
And now that they're in charge of Congress, it will all be looked into yet again, Republicans promised, this time with an attitude. Jim Stewart, CBS News, Washington.
Still ahead, live from Washington, feeding off the fears of the elderly. An Eye on America investigation of groups that promise to protect the elderly. We'll show you where the money really goes. Also tonight, the winners, but not the champions of college football.
You gotta give us at least one of them. You gotta get at least one of those. We're number one. We're number one. One of them. At least one of them. We're number one. You gotta give it to us.
Okay, Daddy's turn to eat. Mommy said, try Crispix so it doesn't get soggy in milk. Yeah, Mommy is funny. Okay, so it starts crispy. Big deal, huh? Well, like childhood, this won't last.
Kellogg's Crispix cereal. Delicious corn and rice that stays crispy to the end.
Last bite. This should be mushy enough for you. Hey, it's still crispy. You're gonna love this stuff. Of course, you're gonna need teeth first. That means orthodontist.
My son is bringing his lady friend for dinner, and I've got such gas. So I take my Lanta gas relief gel caps with the best and only medicine for gas relief and an advanced gel cap. So who calls to cancel? They should both get gas.
For advice about cholesterol, see your doctor. But to simply get your cholesterol number in about 15 minutes, there's a home test as accurate as those used by doctors. The new Johnson & Johnson Advanced Care Cholesterol Test. No appointment needed.
An aide to Boris Yeltsin said today that Russian forces will go all the way to the end to defeat Muslim rebels in the Chechen Republic. It seems the rebels are prepared to do the same. Correspondent Jonathan Sanders has the latest from the battle scene.
This was Grozny's last remaining market. Now it's an open-air morgue. This was once the capital of the Chechen Republic. Now it's an urban battlefield, a wasteland of death and destruction. The Russians tried to storm the city and for the moment have failed miserably. Success tonight belongs to the outnumbered, outgunned Chechens. For 3 weeks now, they have held off a Russian army that is proving to be poorly led and brutally inept. Humiliated on the ground, the Russians have pulled back and are once again bombing the city from the air. As the number of Russian dead climbs into the hundreds, Yeltsin's chief aide felt compelled to announce the army would not be allowed to give up. But for the mothers of those boys at the front, that would be just fine. They say their sons must not be sacrificed on the altar of politics and power. As his army regroups, it would seem Mr. Yeltsin is faced with two unpalatable choices: level the city with the attendant slaughter of civilians or call up his men. Either one could put an end to this war and to Yeltsin's political future, too. Jonathan Sanders, CBS News, Chechnya.
Israel and the PLO began an important new round of peace talks today, but clouds over the peace process are darkening. In Gaza, Arabs called for revenge against Israel for a border clash last night that left 3 Palestinian policemen dead. Bob Simon reports.
Palestinians said Israelis attacked one of their police stations. Israelis said Palestinians fired first. They characterized the incident as a misunderstanding.
And we have to see it like this, that things like this happen.
In fact, things like this were not supposed to happen, not according to the peace deal. Now 3 Palestinian policemen were dead. Now thousands march down dusty streets to honor and bury them, to shout those shouts which still unite this splintered strip of sand. Death to Israel, death to America, death to the devils of this land. 1994 began with dreams of Israeli withdrawals, Palestinian independence, and peace between old enemies. 1995 is beginning with battles and bodies and a deepening conviction shared by Israelis and Palestinians that nothing is going to change. The masses of Gaza, who'd hoped for new homes and jobs by now, got new martyrs instead. And Yasser Arafat, the man who made peace with Israelis and promised elections to Palestinians, was once again a mourner. And while the dead were being laid to rest in Gaza, Palestinians and Israelis on the West Bank remained locked in a struggle over Jewish settlements. And Israeli and Palestinian negotiators in Cairo remained deadlocked over further Israeli withdrawals. No one thought any of this would be easy. Many permitted themselves to hope it would be a little bit better than this. Bob Simon, CBS News, Gaza.
Coming up next on the CBS Evening News from Washington, a look at the accused abortion clinic shooter as he appears in court, and a daring prison escape by a group of convicted murderers. The story of how they did it in a moment.
When I got rid of my gray hair, I wanted a really natural look. So I didn't take any chances. I used the sure thing for a natural look, called Just for Men.
Simply apply Just for Men, and in 5 minutes, rinse. It's specially timed to blend away the gray. Bring back the look of your own natural color as it conditions your hair.
With 5-minute Just for Men, this natural look is a sure thing.
5-minute Just for Men, the sure thing for a natural look.
Mothers have learned from countless doctors and pharmacists to take care of coughs with Robitussin. And they've taken this advice home. Robitussin, recommended by Dr. Mom. Ask your doctor or pharmacist.
I'm going to put something in front of you, Kathleen, okay? What do you smell?
I don't smell anything.
It's a bad cold you got there. I have a nasal spray I want to give you. Now what do you smell?
I smell an orange.
Yeah.
This is wild. Tristan.
Tristan 12-hour nasal spray.
This stuff works.
6 p.m. and all is not well. It feels a little like 6 a.m. when you woke up with morning breath. Sure, you use Scope, but a lot has happened since then, including lunch. And those germs, they're back.
Hi, honey.
This time it's evening breath. Time to Scope again. Because Scope gets to the hard-to-reach places even brushing can't get to. Kills millions more germs than brushing alone and gets your whole mouth clean and your breath minty fresh, not medicine-y. When you gotta freshen your breath again, Scope again.
You may not know these faces, but the Democrats paid them millions to help win the election. These high-priced political consultants got it all wrong, but they're still laughing all the way to the bank. What's wrong with this picture? Time for a reality check as the Republicans take power. Full coverage from Washington tomorrow on the CBS Evening News.
The man accused of shooting up abortion clinics in 2 states last week made his first court appearance today. John Salvi was arraigned in Norfolk, Virginia, on charges of shooting into an unoccupied building. The judge ordered him held without bond and granted his request for a court-appointed lawyer. Massachusetts wants Salvi extradited to face charges he killed 2 abortion clinic workers and wounded 5 other people. In Florida tonight, the hunt is on for 5 convicted murderers who pulled off a classic prison break. Police fear they may commit more crimes as they fight to survive outside the walls. Correspondent Art Rascon has the latest.
Got my guns out and everything.
With 5 convicted killers on the loose, Ivan Santiago is not taking any chances.
I am prepared for the prisoners. The prisoners in this yard is in danger.
The 5 escaped convicts are cold-blooded killers. Juan Jesus Fleitas used a machine gun to kill a Miami man. Florenzio Alvarez killed a friend over a drug deal. Hector Rivas murdered a Key West charter boat captain only 2 years ago. Jesus Martinez was sentenced to life in prison without parole. And Armando Junco, the oldest of the 5 at 62, was serving life for a home invasion and murder. The prisoners spent 3 weeks digging a 60-foot-long tunnel using spoons and other tools. The hole started under the prison church and opened up right under the watchtower, where, incidentally, no one was on guard.
When they got under the chapel, they changed into those blues, dug. When they finished their digging, they changed back into their clean blues and went about their business.
There were 6 inmates who tried to escape. The one captured told prison officials the escape plan had been in the works 2 months.
Lock the doors, lock the cars, lock the bikes up, and everybody slept in the living room.
Tonight, authorities are widening the search area as residents lock down for yet another night with 5 convicted killers on the loose. Art Rascone, CBS News, Belglade, Florida.
A Harvard study of gun owners published today may surprise you. It says gun owners who have had firearms training are twice as likely to keep a loaded gun unlocked at home, twice as likely as gun owners with no training. The researchers who did the study say guns should be stored unloaded and locked up.
Every unbearable chill, for every wrenching cough, every fever, every ache, every miserable congestion. It's got to be Theraflu every time. From your bad cold to your worst flu, Maximum Strength Theraflu delivers serious relief in soothing hot liquid or new non-drowsy caplets. When it's not just a cold, it's got to be Theraflu. Hot liquid or new non-drowsy caplets.
When the food you love doesn't love you back, try new Maalox Assorted Tablets. 3 tasty flavors in one handy bottle. Maalox Assorted Tablets. Ah, life is good.
Monday, I soak my dentures. Tuesday, I brush. Wednesday, I soak.
Wait, all you need is denture cream. Why soak when denture cream gets dentures twice as clean and has minty mouthwash ingredients? All you need is denture cream.
Every day.
I remember the day I said goodbye to baseball. I promised myself minor arthritis pain wouldn't hold me back. And hey, I gotta use this shoulder. That's why I still want strong relief. So I use Ultra Strength Bengay. It has 3 pain relievers. They only have 1. And doctors recommend Bengay the most. I promised myself arthritis pain wouldn't hold me back. Bengay helps me keep that promise. Ultra Strength Bengay. Nothing stronger.
Your legs can feel 45% smoother, your feet 40% softer.
An update from Vaseline Research.
This is no ordinary lotion. This is an alpha hydroxy lotion just for dry, flaky legs and rough, calloused feet. It sloughs away dry, dead skin cells, so your legs are beautifully smooth. Even your feet are touchably soft.
From Intensive Research comes new Vaseline Intensive Care Smooth Legs and Feet Alpha Hydroxy Lotion.
Terry wanted to lose weight. What she lost was her life.
I knew she was dead.
Her family blames her diet pills. How safe are they? Eye to Eye investigates Thursday.
The shape of the presidential campaign 96 is already changing. Here in Washington, former Bush administration Defense Secretary Dick Cheney confirmed this evening he will not seek the GOP presidential nomination. And former Vice President Dan Quayle is back in the hospital in Indiana, this time to have a swollen appendix removed. Doctors say it is unrelated to Quayle's hospital stay a month ago for blood clots in his lungs.
Republicans and Democrats do have at least somewhat different views about Social Security, but they agree on one thing. Social Security is safe for the foreseeable future. No one is in danger of losing benefits anytime soon. But there are groups out there in the business of instilling fear in Americans, a big business that preys on the elderly and their fears. Richard Threlkeld has the results of a CBS News investigation in tonight's Eye on America.
The stove isn't hot enough.
Every day, more than a dozen letters arrive at Nora Keith's little home in Oregon, asking her to give money. And for somebody who barely gets by on her Social Security, Nora Keith's a very generous woman.
United Seniors again.
When her friend Pat Schmidlin went through Nora's finances, she was shocked to find Nora had contributed half her life savings to official-sounding organizations promising to save her Social Security. How much?
Approximately $20,000.
What?
Yeah.
I didn't know I had that much.
Older Americans like Nora Keith, who are scared of losing what little they have, are easy prey for unscrupulous direct mail fundraisers. They bill themselves as conservative groups that claim to lobby for the elderly.
She can't help it, and they know they can't help it.
Congress, the Post Office, and the FBI are investigating several of them, including the Seniors Coalition. According to its last tax return, it made $11 million in donations and spent the better part of $9 million on more fundraising.
I found a lot of things which were I consider shady or just borderline crooked.
Joe Heaney, a former president of the Seniors Coalition, says some of the organization's officials were pocketing the donations.
They bought themselves cars. They were paying themselves $20,000 a month. They converted close to $250,000 out of the organization into what I consider personal use.
Heaney says the coalition's fundraising letters are designed to fool older people.
Social Security information only, for addressee only.
If you're an elderly person and you get this, you think it's from the government.
Oh, absolutely. Medicare update.
I better open that. I'm going to lose my Medicare.
Well, you need to know.
That's what prompted groups like the Massachusetts Senior Action Council to warn their members about the Seniors Coalition.
It all looks very official, and you think, gee, it must be coming from the government or from the Social Security Administration. And when you open it up, you don't get any names on it except Jake Hansen, whoever he is.
Well, Jake Hansen, it turns out, is the lobbyist for the Seniors Coalition. We asked him about those mailings.
Isn't this a hoax that you're suggesting to people that this is something official, you better open it and do what it says?
I don't believe so. I mean, all across it, the top of it is the Seniors Coalition. Up here is a nonprofit organization.
The Seniors Coalition's new management claims it has reformed the questionable financial practices that Joe Heaney told us about, and now concentrates on lobbying Congress to protect Social Security. Well, that's news to Congressman Jim Bunning, the ranking Republican on the Social Security Subcommittee.
You've never seen them in the lobby?
No, I've never had them visit my office. And
You've never had them on the phone?
No, I've never had them on the phone.
They've never taken you to lunch?
No, they've never taken me to lunch.
You're taking donations, millions of dollars of them, to lobby members of Congress, and if there's any member that you ought to be lobbying, it seems to me it's Jim Bunning. He never sees you guys.
His staff made it very clear a couple of years back that they didn't want to talk with us and they didn't want to work with us.
Hansen told us his group doesn't do most of its lobbying in person. It sends Congress letters. United Seniors, with offices here in suburban Washington, is another group that claims to lobby for the elderly. It took in almost $5 million in donations last year. United Seniors wouldn't talk to us, but one of its former executives told us that, like a lot of other direct mail mills, it spends most of the money it gets from the elderly trying to solicit even more money from them.
They lead people to believe that they're on the Hill, they're lobbying, they're talking to congressmen, they're not doing anything. They would support ghost employees. You would have people who would be on the payroll of the organization but would come in one day a year.
They take a helpless person that doesn't know any better and they take everything they can get from them.
United Seniors and the Seniors Coalition used to be two of Nora Keith's favorite charities.
Seniors Coalition. Well, I figured the seniors needed it, I guess. I must have.
And you think you're helping?
I don't know. Am I helping? You think
you're helping them get rich?
At age 88, there's not too much Nora Keith can count on except the mail. She'll be getting lots of that for years to come. In Washington, I'm Richard Threlkeld for Eye on America.
What do you need when you're inching towards home and you're the slightest bit edgy and you need something soothing and good, but not that might make you feel better and you want it right now? V8.
With a full serving of vegetables. It might just make you feel better.
Mice.
For everyone you see, there may be 15 or 20 that you don't see, and they eat in many different places. A very unhealthy situation. But put Decon Mouseproof in the places mice feed, like behind the refrigerator, the cupboard, the washer, and you'll eliminate them faster. Decon Mouseproof gets mice right where they live.
You know you can get salmonella poisoning from bacteria in undercooked food, like some chicken or fish. But you can also get it if that bacteria has been spread around the kitchen. That's why there's Lysol antibacterial kitchen cleaner. As it cleans, it kills the bacteria and keeps them from spreading, which may help keep you from getting sick. Get Lysol antibacterial kitchen cleaner.
These hands can do anything, including spread germs. Washing them often is good, but it doesn't go far enough. Lysol spray with antibacterial action kills germs on surfaces, so you don't pick them up with your hands, and that helps reduce the spread of colds and infectious diarrhea. Lysol disinfectant spray. Keep your hands off germs.
When I get a cold, I need a strong medication. My husband's a doctor and can give me anything, but he recommends Dimetap Extend tabs. Dimetap controls my sneezing and nasal congestion. It's strong medicine.
For colds, doctors recommend Dimetap.
When the food you love doesn't love you back, try new Maalox assorted tablets. 3 tasty flavors in one handy bottle. Maalox assorted tablets. Life is good.
We give our dogs Pedigree as a source of meat in their diet. When you open a can of Choice Cuts, there's big meaty chunks and a rich brown gravy. You can really smell the meatiness. For my money, Pedigree is the best dog food you can buy.
Pedigree, developed with vets, recommended by top breeders.
Yogi Berra was talking about baseball when he said 50% of the game is half mental. Some other games are up to 100% half mental. For instance, today's vote to determine the nation's top college football team. Correspondent Jerry Bowen reports on the mythical crown and those who claim it.
It has to figure that in a country denied a baseball World Series, where even the hockey season is on ice, another sport has ended on a question mark. Who's really number one in college football?
We're honored to be named the number one team.
The sports writers and coaches declared Orange Bowl winner Nebraska number one in all the land. After 7 straight bowl game losses, it came as a relief.
I guess it's all over now. The votes are in, and I think if you win 13 games, you can lobby a little bit.
That's fresh legs! But Rose Bowl winner Penn State was also perfect, a record of 12-0. So Penn State anointed itself.
Who said we didn't win a championship? The media said we didn't win a championship. All right, we think we won a championship. We did everything we could, and we're going to assume we're champions. And that's not to take anything away from Nebraska.
Penn State's been declared national champion twice before, but this is the 4th time the team's had a perfect record and been snubbed.
And Nittany Lions are cooking.
The obvious solution's a championship game, but collegiate athletic officials say no.
The only sport in the world that picks its champion by not playing a game is college football in America. Now, how crazy is that?
And you could almost bet it would end this way. It's been that kind of year in sports. Even when you're perfect, it's not quite good enough. Jerry Bowen, CBS News, Los Angeles.
And that's our news. Tomorrow on CBS This Morning, incoming House Speaker Newt Gingrich and Senate Majority Leader Bob Dole, live from Capitol Hill.
And Connie and I'll see you again tomorrow night with full coverage of all the changes here in Washington and what they may mean to you. Good night.
Good night.
Experience CBS News. This is CBS. Attention all stations concerned. There will be an update of the CBS Evening News.